Good morning and welcome to mathsatoka online class. Today we'll be talking about this equation, this polynomial equation. You know, in the time I taught you polynomial as a topic, you can check my video, okay, when I taught polynomial. Now, if you want to solve this equation, I told you that you are going to reduce this equation to quadratic equation by finding two factors. You can solve two factors. You can get the two factors by trial and error method. How do you get that? First thing is to find all the factors of the constant, then substitute each of the factors here to know the one that will give you 0. You are going to get 2, so that after dividing to reduce to a quadratic equation. But there's another method we're going to use to reduce this thing to a quadratic equation without finding the factor. And this method is applicable only when, please check this thing first, only when the coefficient of the first term here and the last term is the same thing, 3, okay? And then the next term, -4 and -4. So once this and this are the same, and this and this are the same, then you are going to apply this method I'm going to use now, okay? So what do we do? The first thing to do is to divide everybody by x squared. Divide by x squared. Because I want to reduce this to quadratic. So let's divide. I'm going to have 3x raised to power 4 divided by x squared minus 4x raised to power 3 divided by x squared minus 14x raised to power 2 divided by x squared minus 4x divided by x squared plus 3 divided by x squared is equal to 0, because 0 divided by x squared is still 0. So, or you put it if you like. Now, this divided by this, I have reduced it to what? 3x raised to power what? 2 minus this divided by this, I'm having 4x. This cancel this, so it's remaining what? Only 14 minus this divided by this. 1x will cancel 1x, so I'm going to have 4 divided by x. Hope you are seeing that. Plus, what I'm going to have here is what? 3 over what? X squared, because there's nothing to divide, is equal to 0. Now, let me bring them together after dividing. Bring them together. I'm going to have 3x squared plus 3 over x squared. Stay together. I'm separating with plus because plus does not affect anything. So I'm going to have what? Minus 4x with what? This one. Minus 4 over x. They are together. Okay? Then I'm going to have minus 14 is equal to 0. Okay, now let us factorize. I'm going to have 3 can come outside. 3 in bracket of x squared plus 1 over x squared. Okay? Plus, the next one is what? I'll factor out minus 4. Minus 4 is common. Minus times plus minus. So I'm having x here plus 1 over what? X minus 44 is equal to 0. Now, once you get to this point, the next thing you need to do, you see, I'm trying to make them to look alike. The next thing to do is to know what this one will give you. Okay? Let us check something. I want to have the same thing here. Let's check. If I have x plus 1 over x all squared is equal to what? Let's do something. Let's check what this thing will give us. This is equal to what? Square the first one, x squared. Multiply the first one and the second one, you have 1. Double it, I'm having 2. Square the last one, I'm having plus 1 over x squared. Please, if you don't know how to do this thing I did, just do it like this. That x plus 1 over x all squared is something as saying s plus 1 over x times another s plus 1 over x. Then if you clear it, you are going to get this thing as your answer. Okay? So now, this is the main man I'm looking for. So this minus 2 can come to this side. So I'm going to have x plus 1 over x all squared minus 2 is equal to what? X squared plus 1 over x squared. So which means, instead of putting this x squared plus 1 over x squared, I'm going to replace it with this, because I want to get x plus 1 over x without the square being there. So this is something as saying 3 into, instead of writing this one, I'll write it as this, which is what? I'll write it as x plus 1 over x all squared minus 2. So I don't need to do all this. You just know that this thing is something as saying bringing the square outside and putting minus 2. Just carry it in your head. Okay? Minus 4 into x plus 1 over x, then minus 14 is equal to 0. You see, once you are done with this, once you have gotten the same thing, you see that what is here is exactly what is here. You can say let it be 1. united them. Let 1x x plus 1 over x be equal to what? Y. So anywhere I see it, I'll put y. So I'm having 3 brackets. I'm having it here, y squared. So I'll have y squared minus 2. You close. Minus 4 bracket y. Okay, minus 14 is equal to 0. Okay. So what do you do now? Let's clear bracket. This time this I'm having 3y squared. This time this I'm having minus 6. Then I'm having minus 4y minus 14 is equal to 0. So I'm having what? 3y squared minus 4y. This and this will give you minus 20 is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation, and then we can factorize. Let us factorize. If you factorize, I'm having this time this, don't forget, which will give what? Minus 60y squared. So what do? Don't think of the two things. Let it come out by itself. Bring it out by itself. By saying what? Don't forget, let us share. If I share minus 60y squared, I'm going to have 2 divide minus 30y squared, 2 divide minus 15y squared, 3 divide minus 5y squared, 5 divide minus y squared, y divide minus y finally 1. Now I'm looking for minus 4. How do I get minus 4? 10 and 6 can give me minus 4. So I'm having 2 with 5 with the minus y, and then 3 with 2 with the y. So 2 times 5, 10. 10 times minus y, I'm going to have minus 10y. Let me write it here. I'm going to have minus 10y. Okay. Then 2 times 3, 6. 6 times y, I'm going to have plus 6y. So both of them will give me minus 4y. Exactly this minus 4y. So anywhere I see minus 4y, I will put it as what? Minus 10y plus 6y. So I'm going to have 3y squared minus 10y, okay, minus 10y plus 6y, then bring down minus 20 is equal to 0. So once you replace, the next thing to do is to open 2 brackets. Okay, now what is common between these two people is just y. 3y divided by this, I'm having 3y. 10y divided by this, I'm having what? 10. Anything that is here must be here. 3y minus 10. How do you get the person outside? The last person divided by the last person. Minus minus plus 20 divided by 10, 2 is equal to 0. You can check if it is correct. 2 times this, 6. 2 times this, 20. So the next line is what? What is common between this line and this line? I'm going to have that 3y minus 10 is common. And then what is remaining is what? Y plus 2 is equal to 0. So what does it mean? I'm having that 3y minus 10 is 0, or y plus 2 is 0. So automatically this shows that what? This shows that y is equal to 10 over 3, or y is equal to minus 2. But I'm not looking for y. What I'm looking for is x. I will tell them that, but there is a place I said that what? That x plus 1 over x is equal to y. So which means x plus 1 over x is equal to what? 10 over 3, or x plus 1 over x is equal to what? Minus 2. So how do you clear the fraction? You clear the denominator by multiplying each of them by the LCM. So I'm going to multiply with 3x for this side. This side I'm going to multiply with only x. So for this side I will multiply by 3x. So I'm going to have 3x bracket x plus 3x bracket 1 over x is equal to what? 3x bracket 10 over what? 3. So x will cancel x here, y3 will cancel 3 here. So I'm going to have what? 3x squared plus 3 is equal to what? 10x. So if I bring this to this side, I'm having 3x squared minus 10x plus 3 is equal to 0. So this is another quadratic equation. So let's do the same thing here to get the next quadratic equation there. Okay. For this side, I am multiplying with x, multiply by x. To have what? X bracket x plus x bracket 1 over x is equal to what? X bracket minus 2. So what do you have? This time this x squared plus this time this cancel this. I'm having 1 is equal to what? Minus 2x. So if this one comes, I'm going to have x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. So that is that. So these are the two quadratic equations I'm going to solve. So let me bring them out. 3x squared minus 10x plus 3 is equal to 0. And x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. So let's solve them. Remember, the method is what? Multiply the first person and the last person. Okay? If you multiply the first person and the last person, I'm having 9x squared. Now, the two things you are going to use, you find it by saying 9x squared, 3 divide, 3x squared, 3 divide, x squared, x divide, x divide 1. So how do I get 10? I can get 10 by saying these two together with 1x, leaving 1x. 3 times 3, 9x. Leaving what? Only 1x, which will give you 9x plus this will give you 10x. But I told you that if the sign is the problem, change the sign of everybody. So I'm going to have minus 9x minus x is equal to what? Minus 10x. So anywhere I see minus 10x, I'm going to put what? Minus 9x minus x. So I bring down 3x squared minus 9x minus x plus 3 is equal to 0. So open two brackets. What is common between these two is what? 3x. 3x divided by this, x is remaining. 3x divided by this, I'm having 3 is remaining. Anything that is here must be here. X minus 3. How do you get the person outside? Plus minus. Minus. 3 divided by 3, 1. So the next method is what? What is common between this line and this line is what? X minus 3 is common. Then what is remaining is what? 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. So what do we have now? That x minus 3 is 0 or 3x minus 1 is 0. So what do we have? X is equal to 3 or x is equal to what? 1 over 3. I have gotten for this side. So let me solve for the other side. Let me solve for the other side. The same method again. This time this. Which is what? X squared. So let's find the x squared. X squared. X divide x. X divide 1. So the only two group is what? X plus x, which is what? 2x. So anyway I see 2x, I'll just put x plus x. So bring down x squared. Instead of writing 2x, I'll write plus x. Bring down plus 1 is equal to 0. So what do we have? What is common? Open two brackets. What is common between these two is just x. This divided by this, x. This divided by this, 1. Anything that is here must be here. x plus 1. Plus 1. So how do you get the person outside? Plus. 1 divided by 1, 1. So what is common between this line and this line is what? The one in the bracket. Then the remaining is what? The one that is not in the bracket is equal to 0. So what do we do now? So finally I'm having that what? That x plus 1 is equal to 0 or x plus 1 is equal to 0. So what do you mean? X is equal to minus 1 twice because they are the same thing. So this means that x is equal to what? 3, 1 over 3, 1 and 1. So that is that. So let me give you a question to solve. Then drop the answer in the comment section. Okay, I'm going to have solve 12x4 minus 4x3, okay, minus 41x, okay, minus 4x plus 12 equal to 0, okay. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Please like, share, and subscribe.